Hi everyone, welcome back. We're doing it, guys. We're getting through it. We're doing really well. You should be very proud of yourself. By now you should have a pretty nice looking little robot arm with all of your custom made textures, and it should be rigged hopefully, so when you look inside it, there should be some of that. But most importantly, you should be starting to feel a bit more confident in 3D modeling in general, and in Blender. And if you are, then you should be very proud. And if you're not, that's okay. Sometimes it just takes a bit longer. And if you need more help, just pop me a message or pop a comment on the videos, and I'll try and keep an eye on them and get you up to speed. Now, one of the ways in which rigs and things move is or the whole way they move is called kinematics. Okay, so kinematics, things moving. Here we can see that when this moves, that we can see that the mesh moves. Some of the parts that we don't want to move, but they're still moving. That's fine for now, because that's okay. It's not the world's best thing. It's just about learning. And we could have this go all the way over. But if, let's say, we had an animation from the side and we had something here, and we wanted this arm to pick it up, we would need to rotate this all the way around, and then maybe rotate this a little bit and rotate these a little bit. And just ignore this. Okay, this is going to happen. We need to add more detail to the mesh, but whatever, we'll just. So basically, when we want to put this part here, we need to start with the bottom of the chain and then work forward all the way to the tip. Okay, and this is called forward kinematics. So we need to move, one bit and then another bit and then another bit, and that's fine. That's one way of doing it. But there is another way, and it's the way in which our brains and our bodies actually work. So that's kind of where it's been inspired from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one here, and by all means you stay with me and you follow with me, and I'm just going to copy that. So I'm in wireframe mode so that I can get all of it. I've got the armature and I've got both parts of the object, and I'm just going to hold shift and press D, and then I'm just going to press Y and just move it along there. Okay, so now we have an exact copy of each of them. And the great thing is because they're separate, they don't move when one moves. They're not parented to each other, but they still have their own individual parenting, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just add one more bit onto our armature, and then we're going to have a look at a different way of moving rigs. So what I want to do is I want to go back into editing my rig, and I'm going to go here. It doesn't hugely matter where you're starting from with this bit. I just like to do it from here, because this is a bone that we're going to put a special constraint on. So the next bit becomes a child of it. It will make sense soon. Now, it doesn't really matter which way we drag the bone. We just want a small one, because it's not going to be connected anyway. And then we click on it and make sure that we're not just clicked on the edge, we've actually got the bone parts of our new one, and we're going to right click and we'll say split, and then I'm just going to move that kind of to here. Okay, and a little bit up, that's fine. So actually let's go to here. Okay, so now it's still connected. We're just going to have a quick look. That's called bone forearm 001, this bone here, and that's going to be important in a minute, so make sure you check. And in fact, I'm going to put _IK next to it, just so that I know for sure. And now I'm going to go back to pose mode. It might move a bit, don't worry about it. And I'm going to click this bone, so the forearm bone. And I'm going to go down to this special button here, which is called bone constraints. So constraints are additional movement rules that we can apply to things, and when they're a bone constraint, so I'm applying it directly onto this bone, and I can apply different ones to different bones, but this is the one I want, okay? Because I want these finger bits to be able to move independently of what I'm about to do, so that it doesn't really, it doesn't affect the rest of it. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on inverse kinematics. So remember a minute ago we were talking about forward kinematics. So this is the reverse, okay? This is about how we can use the end of the chain to position the rest of it rather than doing it the other way around. Now it's going to come up with this. Don't worry, it's got a couple of bits to connect, so if it goes a bit funny in a minute, don't worry. We're going to click this and we're going to do armature 01. Okay, so that's this armature, and I know that because it says here armature 001. And then the bone is going to be that one that I just made, the IK, and it's going to move and it's going to say, I know where that is, look, I've touched it, it's perfect, here it is, and that's fine. And now we need to count back how many bones we have before this yellow one. So we have 1 and we have 2, so I'm going to change this length to 1 and 2. Okay, now it still looks a bit funny, and this is just not working in the weight painting, so just ignore it if yours is playing up as well. That's something we could deal with another day. And now hopefully yours looks something like this. If it doesn't, that's fine. Have a look through these again. Don't worry about a pole target for now. Play with your iterations, but generally you want the number that's sort of up to the joint, the main joint. And now if I select this bone, so our little new one, I'm just going to go to side view so you can see it. When I move this, it moves the whole thing, okay? And we can see that just by moving this one, I could get the whole movement that we had previously on this one by moving this bit and that bit and that bit, but just by grabbing and moving, okay? And try not to twist it, sometimes it will twist, that's what a pole target's for, but because we're just doing it side on, it should be fine for now, okay? And we just won't bend it back on itself. So then I could do that, and then because these are after it, I can still move these and they still work perfectly fine. But I can grab this one and move it into this position, so it's sort of the same as the one on the left. And that's a very, very quick demonstration of forward kinematics and inverse. So it's inverse because we have the end of it and that controls the rest of it, whereas on forward we have to move the bottom of it to start and that will move the rest of it. What we can do as well is start applying and connecting different bits. So if we wanted to, in pose mode, we could parent this to an empty or something, so we can then we don't have to touch the bones at all, we can just move the empty and kind of deals with that. And if you're making something for a vehicle, then that's very common to have those types of things. And then characters as well. So sometimes when you see a picture of a car, like a 3D animated character, they have lots of circles and boxes on them, and that's just things that are connected to things like this to help you move. If you've gotten this far, very well done. You're very near the end. Again, this is a crash course, so don't worry about being a little bit overwhelmed. It's just about introducing you to some of the concepts, and you can come back to them and go, oh, how did that work and how did that work, so that you can apply them to your own project. So well done, and I'll see you in the next video.